Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. Just recently we've been going over some questions from Dafuk. We learned a lot of interesting and informative things, but as I was going through Dafuk's answers, a very interesting thought popped into my head. We have been noticing for a long time the similarities of the series with one very popular and, we can say, legendary game, Half-Life. It's no secret that it was from this game that many of the sounds and models for Skibidi Toilet series were taken. That's why I finally decided to go deeper into this video to find similarities with our favorite series and try to find out where the plot of Skibidi Toilet will turn next. This video was very difficult for me. I had to go through a ton of information, watch a bunch of breakdowns to get into, and understand this legendary episode of games as best as possible. Today, you will learn all the similarities of these two franchises. We will analyze each character, which is literally indistinguishable from his version of the game. Let's break down all the global events in both the game and the series. We'll try to reacquaint ourselves with the motives behind the Astro Toilets. And I will also tell you the history of the game, tell you about Secret Agent, and I'll try to find out the future plot of the series with the help of all of the above. Of course, everything that you will learn today is just my assumptions, and hardly all the information will come true, because it will be sent only on the parallel with the game. But even with that, I am sure that you will be surprised, especially if you have never played Half-Life until now. So sit back, put like, subscribe to the channel, and don't miss my new videos. Anyway, here we go. First of all, I suggest to talk a little bit about Half-Life history, so that in the future you understand what I'm talking about. In the first part, on behalf of the main character Gordon Freeman, we arrive at a research base called Black Mesa. In the role of a scientist, he goes to experiment GG3883, which results in a catastrophic quantum event. It's called a cascade resonance. Because of this, a portal opens on our Earth, from where monsters from his world, the world of Zen, began to emerge. Some of the workers press a button, which causes the military to fly in and sweep out not only these monsters, but also the scientists for the sake of eliminating witnesses. We make our way to the rocket with the satellite to launch it. This was needed to close the portal from the Zen world, but nothing comes out because of the Nihilanth that powers the portal. We have to infiltrate the Zen world to destroy the Nihilanth, and after we defeat it, we are teleported by G-Man, the most mysterious character in the Half-Life universe. He thanks us for killing Nihilanth and gives us a choice. Either we work for him or refuse. If we agree, he puts us in stasis until a better time, and if we refuse, he kills us by moving us to the monsters. Obviously, the best option is to work for him, so we boldly walk through the green portal and the first part ends. There is no time in stasis, so 1 second passes for Gordon Freeman, when for mankind a couple of decades have passed. We won't touch on the second part, but we will touch on the time when Gordon was still in stasis. The huge interdimensional organization, Alliance, had been conquering different galaxies and planets for many years, and now it was time for Earth. Before they attacked, they researched Earth and realized that the technology there was very far behind theirs, so they sent a small army to invade. The planet was taken in 7 hours, and there were very few people left. However, there were those who were not satisfied with the enslavement of Earth, so a rebel group called the Resistance was created. They kept fighting back the Alliance forces and preventing them from siphoning resources from the Earth. And that's it for now, folks. We will finish about Half-Life plot, as it is enough for you to understand my further theories. As you may have already noticed, there are similarities between the series and the plot of this game. Banally, very similar plot to our series. Let's start perhaps at the beginning. Everything, as we realized, began because of the experiment GG3883, because of which the monsters from the world of Zen came to Earth, and later came the Alliance, which was able to enslave the Earth. Now let's remember the plot of the series. First, the Skibidi Toilets arrived on Earth and failed to take over the Earth, and later, after a time, Astro Toilets arrived on Earth and killed both Skibidi Toilets and Alliance. Well, basically what we see now in the series. We also have a very mysterious and enigmatic character. This is Dafuk, a certain G-Man in the series. You'll agree, there are quite a few similarities with our series. Look, first there was an attack of monsters from the world of Zen, and after the Alliance itself decided to take over the Earth, destroying both monsters from the world of Zen and people. Now let's move on to the series. First, there was an attack by Skibidi Toilets, who took over the planet. They started to be resisted by the Alliance, but after their defeat, Astro Toilets arrived on Earth, killing both the Alliance, that is, the resistance of Earth, and the Skibidi Toilets, monsters that came to us, most likely from outer space. So, there you go. But those aren't the only similarities. It was the GG-38883 experiment that was the beginning of the end. It was the reason why the Earth sent a signal to other worlds. And afterward, as you know, our planet decided to be taken over. Now we get it. But why did the Skibidi Toilets and Astro Toilets decide to attack Earth? It's not like we haven't seen any similar experiment, or have we? Recall episode 73 when we first saw the human form of some of the agents. That's where we were able to see an experiment very similar to the GG-3883 experiment, from which we can conclude that this is the reason why our Earth was attacked as Skibidi Toilets and after Astro Toilets. But there is one but. We saw that beam from Camerawoman's memories is blue, and blue is the color of Cameraman's race. So this experiment was most likely the first trials of creating agents, but anything can be. Now I've told you the events of the game, which are similar to the events of the TV series, but their similarity doesn't end there. You won't believe it, but there are also similarities between characters from Half-Life and characters from Skibidi Toilet. For example, Plunger is Gordon Freeman. They are both similar in character, and Dafuk emphasizes him as a main character and leader that many people know and love. This further shows the similarities of these characters. Also, if you remember that Dafuk killed Plunger and took his memory card for himself until a better time, this is exactly the same scene as when G-Man put Gordon Freeman into stasis and left him until a better time to do what G-Man wants him to do. But now we need to talk about G-Man himself. The fact is that G-Man is an exact copy of Secret Agent and vice versa. They are united by their abilities, availability of workers, color, and mystery. Since in all parts of the game we glimpsed G-Man and was always a very mysterious character. And also, if you remember, in the first part, the color of G-Man and his abilities was green, like our Secret Agent. Camerawoman is most likely Alex Vance, as Gordon and Alex had a love line, though it wasn't directly stated in the game. But it could be noticed, by the way. We'll talk more about her later. The Alliance from Half-Life is an exact copy of the Astro Toilets. They sent their insignificant army to take over Earth in the same way. This army is a reflection of the Skibidi Toilets. They too are inferior in rank, recognized to accomplish the task. Alternatively, the Skibidi Toilets are the personification of the monsters from the Zen world. Some of them could infect people too, just like the Skibidi Toilets. And later, after the Alliance attack, some monsters from the Zen world joined the humans to fight the Inter-Universe Organization Alliance. Agreed, there are a lot of similarities with the Skibidi Toilets. And the Earth Resistance Group, which fought against that very alliance, are the same agents from the series, who were forever preventing the Alliance from siphoning off resources and fighting them somehow. Also in the game, namely in the first part of Half-Life, there was such a character Nihilanth. He controlled everything in the world of Zen. That is, he was the chief there, the general. You will say, why do we need him? This character, being the main in the world of Zen, was not always in this world. Nihilanth was the last of his kind because of the Alliance. It was they who exterminated his entire clan and siphoned all the resources from his planet, leaving him alone. He managed to escape to the world of Zen and hid there, starting to create his own army to defend himself from the inter-universal invaders. But then, after a command resonance, he led his troops into Earth to invade it, and with the help of technology and resources, build an army that could stand up to the Alliance. Even though he was killed off in Part 1, it doesn't take away from the fact that he's a lot like G-Man. He too rebelled against the Astro Toilets, and he too was raising an army to defeat them. Yes, they have differences. Trivial in that one is alive and the other is dead. But let's not forget that Dafuk doesn't just copy characters, but is inspired by them and introduces already his own heroes, who are very similar to the characters from the Half-Life game. We know that the Alliance from the game came to Earth to take it over for resources and some of the technology that humans had. I assume that the Astro Toilets have the same goals. Maybe it's about resources, or it's true that there is some technology on Earth that Astro is interested in. Who knows what the secret agent is hiding in his basement? While the exact data on why Astro toilets need planet Earth is not clear. But one thing is clear. First, they need to kill the Skibidi Toilets and the Alliance, and only then will they begin to realize their intentions. Now we should talk about Secret Agent. We have already raised the topic about him many times, about his abilities, his intentions, his goals, and his history. But still, we know about him just a little bit of information. We have already realized that Dafuk or Secret Agent is a kind of G-Man from Half-Life, but in the series, they have similar colors to their abilities. The abilities themselves tell us that these two characters are similar. G-Man in Half-Life episode works for some employers who give him a job, and he already performs it, let's say, with the help of the same Gordon Freeman as we saw in the game. That is, as we understood, G-Man is some kind of omnipotent being who performs the tasks of his employers. But will Secret Agent be just like G-Man? I don't think so. As I see it, Dafuk doesn't have any employers or beings above him. Most likely, Secret Agent is acting in such a way to put one of his plans into action. Perhaps it is to restore order to the world, perhaps to save something or someone, or to take over and control the world. But while all of these theories are interesting, I can't pick one of them, as there isn't a single piece of evidence or hint of one theory or another. Well, I think that's enough for now. Let's move on to the next main issue. We've all realized by now that the game Half-Life and Skibidi Toilet series are very similar to each other. Most likely, this game is what Dafuk was inspired by when creating the series and various characters. But can we guess the future of the series with this information? I'll tell you, both yes and no. Because first of all, the game itself is not far along in continuing its story, as it is unfinished and fans are still waiting for its sequel. That said, even with the information we have, we can guess where the story of the series will go next. If anyone doesn't know, after the Alliance took over Earth, the Earth Resistance formed to fight them. But the main push for victory was Gordon Freeman, who was brought out of stasis by G-Man. But after the destruction of the Alliance base on Earth, G-Man decided to take Gordon back, but was thwarted by the Vortigaunts. Because of this, he became disillusioned with the protagonist, leaving him alone. However, he eventually switched to Alex Vance, the daughter of Eli Vance, whom Freeman knew, and they fought back against the Alliance together. G-Man was able to build things up so that she would now be working for him, sealing the deal, so to speak. In case you didn't know, Alex Vance's father dies at the end of the game, causing G-Man to come to her with a job offer in exchange for her father's life, and after completing the mission, he puts her on the team as Gordon Freeman himself once was. This is all well described in the game Half-Life Alyx. If you want, you can watch the walkthrough or the story of this game, but I will not focus on it. And that's it. That's the end. But as it seems to me, the next stage of this franchise should be G-Man and the fight with him to get Eli Vance's daughter back. But now on to the series. Having learned all this, we can now speculate and theorize, as we realize that there will be a new enemy after the end of the Astro arc, and it could very well be Secret Agent. Perhaps with his series, Dafuk wants to show a little bit how the Half-Life episode would develop in his opinion after everything that happened. And it's quite possible that after defeating Astro, the main enemy could well be Dafuk. This, I think, is a very interesting and pivotal moment in the plot, but as if it makes sense. Consider this. We don't know what Dafuk wants, why he wants it all, and it's quite possible that he could become the new villain after Astro, as it could have been in Half-Life. Of course, it's very hard to speculate on the future development of the series right now, as there are no clues or hints. But in the future, I hope we will be able to unravel all the mysteries and secrets of the series. I hope you enjoyed it. Put like and subscribe to the channel. Good luck and bye.